God forbid they find out who I really am.
Recently, Sean Diddy Combs has been under fire for several allegations of intense criminal behavior dating all the way back to the 90s. Just in March of this year, these allegations led to his homes in LA and Miami being raided. This has supposedly left many of his friends scared of the fallout. Now, Ellen Degeneres is being scrutinized for her connection to Diddy, and you'll never believe just how bad some of her old comments about Diddy make her look. There has been a lot of talk about many of Diddy's alleged crimes happening during parties that he would throw in his homes. These allegations against him range from disturbing illegal firearms and substances, as well as essay and the solicitation of women in a harmful way. Through all of these allegations, people have now started to dig up some old clips from the Ellen DeGeneres show. Over the years, Diddy appeared on Ellen's show several times, and she also mentioned enjoying having good times with him. In one video uploaded to TikTok, a user cut together several clips from the show that make Ellen look pretty involved with Diddy and his partying way. The first clip in the video comes from a recent spotting of Ellen by the paparazzi as they asked her if she was surprised about the allegations against him. The paparazzi asked Ellen if she had ever been to any of his parties and mentioned the fact that he had been on her show many times, but she refused to answer them and continued to walk through them before getting into her car. After that, the next clip comes from an episode from season 7 of her show, which aired in 2009. In this one, Ellen can be seen asking Diddy if she was invited to his birthday party, to which Diddy replied that Ellen was always invited to every party he throws, but that she just never shows up to them. Between them, Ellen joked that if he were to throw a party on the West Coast instead of the East Coast, then she might actually go to one. Diddy joked that he would even throw a party in Ellen's own home if it meant that she would come to it. From there, the video transitions once again into another clip of Diddy mentioning an after party, to which Ellen says that she definitely knows about those. When she said this, she definitely had an interesting look on her face, like she knew that they were up to no good at those parties, but still didn't think it was bad enough to stop. So at the very least, even if Ellen never really went to these parties, you can assume that she at least knew about them and knew that bad things could happen there. And when looking back at the silence with the paparazzi, it seems even more clear that Ellen definitely knows that these allegations are pretty serious. It's also possible that she knows everyone is aware of her friendship and connection to Diddy, so she could be seriously afraid of what kind of effect this might have on her career, especially after the ups and downs of her talk show getting canceled after it was found out that she treated certain guests and crew members poorly. Once people knew about the interview from season 7, it was discovered that the full interview was actually uploaded onto the show's official YouTube channel in 2022, and the full interview offered a lot more insight into what these parties looked like and what Diddy had to say about them back then. In the interview, Ellen asked Diddy about the time frame of his parties and appeared pretty surprised that he said that they started as early as 9:30 at night. Ellen said that she figured his parties wouldn't start until at least midnight, but he said those were a different kind of party and admitted that most of them lasted until 3 in the morning. Diddy also mentioned that after the party was over, they would always have the top 2 floors of the hotel where the party was being held and that it would continue up there. Although it's impossible to say if Ellen knew about what went on at these parties, it's clear that she'd probably heard rumors about what happened there. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been so surprised about the early start. And even if she didn't condone his actions and what went on at the parties, it does seem like she might have been a passive bystander, which still isn't the best look. If this was the only time she had discussed the parties with him, it's possible that we could give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she didn't know all that much. But yet another clip has been dug up about the situation, and this time it's from an interview from Diddy's 2017 appearance on her show alongside French Montana. In this interview, French Montana explained that he first met Diddy in Las Vegas. After they met, Diddy invited French Montana and his friends to fly back to New York on his private jet that same night, and they quickly became close friends. Diddy praised French Montana in the interview, stating that there are some people who don't like to speak about the good things that they do, which is what French Montana does. Diddy then started to say that they needed to get French Montana to a party before cutting himself off and laughing. But Ellen once again brought up the topic of partying and said to French Montana that she had heard he was very alluring and sensual while he was at parties. Later in the interview, Diddy felt that he needed to clarify that the party he was referring referring to was actually their performance together, not an actual party. Despite the correction, the whole interaction seemed strange and it felt like Diddy was trying to make it seem as if he didn't party. And that could possibly be because he was doing bad things at these parties and didn't want to bring attention to them or incriminate any of his guests who attended them. It's clear that due to their friendship and the way the conversation unfolded, French Montana definitely partied with Diddy at least once, if not more times. And Ellen's comments about what she heard French Montana was like while he was at parties were also strange and very telling, especially now that all these allegations have come out. Who knows just how involved French Montana was with all of the things going down at these parties. At the end of the day, the whole thing is very unsettling, and it's obvious that Ellen absolutely knew something. While her knowledge of what happened at those parties may not be enough to really get her for anything, her career is already on thin ice. So the fact that she might have known about these crimes and did absolutely nothing to stop them or alert someone else of them could be enough to damage her reputation further. Now that all of this has come to light, there are even more clips that have come out about Ellen and Diddy's relationship. In a 2020 clip from her show, she even made a comment that there was nothing she loved more than clowning around with him. So the two of them were definitely friends. It seems like she probably knew what went down at those parties that he hosted. She might have even known about all of this way back in 2009, which is over a decade ago. And if that's the case, then that reflects pretty badly on her. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you think that Ellen was aware of all of the crimes that were being allegedly committed by Diddy at those insane parties? And do you think that she is now worried about getting canceled again because of her friendship with Diddy? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this one, so let me know what you think in the comments below.